Hi guys, thanks for watching the Install Pros YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to tint this frameless window on this F8 Ferrari. When you shut the door, this window goes up, and when you open it, it goes down. So we're going to show you how to trick the latch and tint it with the window all the way up.
If you're new to our channel, please make sure you check out the description of this video, as there'll be a link to our tint kits. There'll also be a link to our giveaway, so check it out.
The first thing that you want to do when tinting a frameless window that goes up when you shut the door and down when you open it, is you want to flip the latch. You're going to trick the latch so that the car thinks the door's shut and the glass goes all the way up. So to do this, you just come over to this latch. You can just take your tint knife or a screwdriver or something. You see the latch right here. You're just going to push in on it like that, and the glass is going to go up when you get it all the way in. So you just push the latch in, that glass went up, and now you have your whole piece of glass. Don't ever shut the door with that up. You can break the glass. So it's meant to shut and then go up. So when your latch is flipped, don't shut the door. Now we've got our latch flipped, our glass is all the way up, and we're going to go ahead and tint the window now. When you're creating the slack to shrink, what I like to do is film shrinks to the factory edge, which is on the bottom here. So I come across the top. Be careful not to crease your pattern. I go down this side and down that side. That brings all the slack together. And I start carting the moisture out. Notice I'm not going all the way to the bottom of the window yet, because if I roll over that, I can crinkle the tint, crease it. And I'm real careful on, and I'm going to divide that one in up, separate it because it was one real big one. That one was small enough. You want to push as much moisture out from behind the slack as you can. That's what I just did there. When the film's got a lot of water behind it, it doesn't shrink and lay down as well. So be careful not to crease your tint. You can see I'm going slow, and I'm just kind of going on the side of that, like that. And sometimes if that one's really wide, I'll push it that way and let that one take some of the slack from that one and pull it that way. And try to make this one a little bit bigger. Like that. Got one more there. This one is a little big, so still it'd probably be alright, but I'm going to go ahead and make that into two. Like that. Okay, grab my heat gun. You always want the heat gun on the highest setting. These ones go to 600 degrees. I like them. They get real hot. Great heat guns. Let your heat gun warm up. You don't want to start shrinking it before it's all the way warm. It won't shrink the film very well. Start at the top. Always keep it moving a little. Now I'm going to do what's called snapping the film. So I'm going to take my hard card, I'm going to run it along the bottom, I'm going to press that side down and this side down, and then I'm going to shrink that uniformly. Now if you zoom in here, you can see that our pattern was computer cut here, but when I trimmed out the pattern, I left 1/4 of an inch gap of extra film all the way around, so that when I'm shrinking it and I get to that edge, I can peel that piece of film off and have a nice edge on all of the window. Okay, and then when I lifted it back up, tacked the sides and snapped the film and shrunk it uniformly, that helps with if I'm shrinking a finger and the card actually pushes it down and didn't quite shrink all the way, then that second time I was getting it all smooth, so that when I stick the pattern, I don't have little kind of, tinners refer to them as fingertips because they look like a finger that's popping up. So if you hear us refer to them as fingers, that's why. So that's how you shrink a door pattern. It could be on frameless or just a regular truck window with a frame. That's the same either way, and I'm going to go ahead and apply the film. First thing that we're going to do is spray that wet. Okay. Grab one of these white scrubby pads here. Okay, what I like to do is take a nice clean towel and go around the edge, and I'm just pinching it as I go. I'll wipe the glass on this edge plus the rubber down in there, and I'll also wipe the door panel off so I don't leave any water on that, and also get it clean and free of dust. Always clean my squeegee right before I put it on the glass. Wipe it when it comes off. Find a clean spot on my towel, wipe the bottom edge, and then I'm looking. That's on the outside. I take a good look. Okay, go ahead and spray the pattern. On a frameless window, you're not going to leave any of the liner on. It's going to be a full stick and tuck, and you want to make sure you have plenty of soapy water so you can move the pattern. Okay, so I've peeled the liner off of my pattern, the backing. I'm going to stick the sticky side there. I always go a little high. Notice I'm up above the window there. I'm going to pull that down. As I start positioning it, I'll pull it off the glass, because if you leave it there, it won't move. It'll catch on that top edge and you'll wonder why it's not moving. Make sure that bottom edge is sealed off, and then you'll kind of lift that down and push out on the glass. Wiggle left to right as you're tucking that. Okay, and you can roll that back up. You can grab a regular hard card, or I like this triangle one, and what you can do is stick it behind the gasket, and that allows you to work the film down. Okay, and then add a little bit of water. The top edge of the glass, as you slide it down, will kind of wipe the film. You can hear that little noise there. That's the film being a little dry. And some cars are a little tighter than others. They're easier to push out on the glass and get the film behind the gasket. Some of them you have to push pretty hard. This one has got a super tight gasket, so. And then you also have a little gasket down the side right here that you have to tuck the film behind there as well. So you kind of pull out on the gasket there with your hard card and get it down there, and then you push out on the glass and pull the film that direction, this direction. And you're tucking that one, as well as sliding the film down. You just keep working the film down and forward. Okay. And now you can see we have a small gap there. So we're far enough forward. Okay, so I'm going to come down and back a little bit. So I got to push out on the glass, get behind the gasket, and I'm pushing with my knuckles right here, and I'm actually working the film down and over. So now we've got a good edge there. Good edge there. We're not overlapping. I'm checking to make sure I'm not overlapping because I'm getting that right on the edge. We're here, we're tucked behind this gasket, tucked behind that gasket. Go ahead and spray that wet. Grab our squeegee. I always wipe it right before. Okay, if it had one little grain of sand or anything on it, it could scratch it. So I go one right through the middle, and I push really hard first. And then I go up through the middle, and then I go down through the middle and hold. That equally disperses the pattern as I'm squeegeeing it out so I don't do what's called torquing the film. Okay, go down here, and I like to hold at the bottom, sometimes push out on the glass, on the frameless, it lets the water go in behind there. This door panel is divided inside, so the water, again, as I've stated in some of the other videos, isn't going into the electronics in the car. Matter of fact, it's dripping out on the ground right there. You still want to be careful not to flood the car with, you know, way too much water, way more than you need. Not a good idea. But okay, so now we've got that. We cleaned it, we positioned it, we've squeegeed it. Now I go to a hard hardened towel. Just wrap that tight and get a nice edge on the towel and start in the middle. Just go back over it. I've seen some guys that like to just squeegee the pattern twice. I'm a little old-fashioned, but I like to just take my time and wrap it in the towel and go over it all again and just go slow and let this absorb the water that's on the edges, as well as crossing back over all of my pattern and making sure that I get a lot of the moisture out of there. Seems to work really well. And then you got to get that behind that gasket there. I'm always rotating that towel from the wet spot to a nice clean dry one so that it can soak up the water as it pushes it out from behind the film. Okay, and then I'll take this towel and I'll wipe down the door panel. You always want to get the water off the door panel right away as soon as it gets on there. It's mostly water, a little bit of baby shampoo, but you do want to get it off right away. If you're not going to do that, then you can mask the door, but most tinners don't, and I think that if you just wipe it off right away, you're okay there. But do jump straight to that, and it's good to wipe off the outside of your window. Make sure it's clean first, but if you wipe it off really good right after you tin it, then you can see what's on the inside and look over it, make sure you didn't miss anything. And that's how to tin a frameless window on a Ferrari F8. How you unflip the latch. When you set the latch for the window to go up when tinting, most cars, to undo it, you just pull up on the handle and this window will drop down and it flipped its own latch. Half the time you'll pull this handle and this latch won't flip out all the way. So pull the handle and go ahead and just move it back out with your knife manually if the window doesn't lower.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you found it helpful, please take the time to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. As always, check out the description of this video, as we'll have a link to our tint kits you can purchase to tint your vehicle. We'll also have a link to our giveaway. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.